Good evening. Welcome to a little nighttime foam rolling class. This is a 3 chili pepper foam roller. So we're going to kind of zip through some of the major muscle groups and positions that you would typically foam roll. So I wouldn't advise this as a first timer to foam rolling. There's some other videos in the library where you can be introduced to the foam roller in a more gentle way. But if you have foam rolled before and you know what it's like and you know how your body responds to it, great, jump right on in. We're gonna start with the foam long waves on your space, and I have one blanket ready to use as we go. You may need a second blanket because remember, anytime you're rolling a muscle group and it feels like that pressure is too intense, you can pad that foam with a layer of blanket, any size thickness that you need, and then adjust as you go. So remember, that's always an option when we're foam rolling. I'll be using this blanket especially for a little bit of cushioning under my arms and under my hands in some different places that we get to. All right, so we're gonna start reclined, lying down on our backs on top of the foam. So placing your hips on one end, take your time, relaxing the back down across the length of that foam, shoulders rest, head rest, and then once you get down here, you can kind of adjust and find that nice equal space where your head is supported and your hips are supported as well. Settling in here, knees stay in this bent position. The wider apart your feet are, the more stable you're gonna be on the foam. And then you've got your hands out to the side. Any place wider is more stability. Any place a little more narrow, we get into activating some core muscles just to stay in place. So know your spot and adjust as needed. As we settle in here, we're gonna start a little slow back and forth roll. Starting to relax the back of the body, the neck, the shoulders, and start to breathe a little more deeply. Rolling at the end of the day is a great time because you can address any tension that's built up in your body along the way. And you finish your foam rolling feeling really relaxed, like you've just had a nice deep pressure, deep tissue massage, that you're in control of the amount of pressure given to yourself. So easy back and forth. Letting your knees rock as you go, relaxing through the hips and the lower back. Couple more times like this. Good. Even that little couple of inches shifting each direction can relax and really target the muscles between the shoulder blades, so the rhomboid muscles can really get some nice pressure and release as you go here. So any of the positions that we go to, if you feel like you need to hang out there longer and continue exactly where you are, totally fine. You don't have to keep up with me every time I change positions. These are just options available to you. You can always pause if you're watching a replay and finish the length of the roll exactly where you are, and then re-engage when you're ready. All right, so let's come into a center place, extending the arms out to the side, palms facing up, just a nice opening for the front of the body, the front of the shoulders and the chest. Let your elbows get heavy and drop into the floor. Little turn of the head, a little bit side to side, relax the neck. So because you're elevated up on this roller, you've got some extra space available for the front of the chest and the shoulders as those arms are placed to the side, more than you would have if you were lying flat on the floor. So take advantage of this nice opening stretch. A couple more deep breaths. Good. Let's start to send the arms back overhead. So everyone's different here. Some people are going to be really loose and open at the shoulders, and you can keep the hands resting on the floor behind your head. Some people are going to need to grab the opposite hand, and this will be a really deep stretch for you. So find your own place here. And if don't compare yourself to me, just know that I'm like hypermobile in most of my joints. So if you're not as flexible as me, don't think that that's abnormal. You're probably closer to normal than I am. So hands are back over the head. Let the ribs expand as you breathe here. And then we're going to come back out to the side, this time bending the elbows as you come. So we're coming to this cactus arm position. Elbows in line with the shoulders. The backs of the palms are seeking the floor behind you. So a nice big open stretch here. Keeping those elbows in place. Little waving cactus, sending the forearms, sending the palms forward, internally rotating at the shoulders, relax forward. And then repeat that both directions. So this is external rotation at your shoulder joint. Relax the muscles between those shoulder blades. And then rolling forward, internally rotating. Relax forward. Good. And relaxing those hands down by your hips, we're going to gently come forward and off that foam. Slide the hands underneath to press yourself up. And let's relocate that foam underneath the knees. Little rolling for the calves. And we've got this blanket behind us now to use for a little bit of cushion and support under the hands. So we're going to do kind of a faster roll for the calf muscles. There are a couple of varieties. You can go in and out, keeping the hips relaxed down into the floor, rolling different sections of those calf muscles because they're nice and long, and you can gradually come up the leg. For this version, we're going to go ahead and support the hips up off the floor and do a nice long roll up and down the length of that muscle. So we have our feet and our toes pointing up towards the ceiling. Our hips are in neutral here, rolling right down the center of the calf muscle. And then let's rotate the hips out to the side, external rotation, and get the outer parts. And then one more place, rotating the big toes towards each other. Get that internal part of the calf muscle. Relax as you go. And then release the hips down onto the floor. Good. Coming off your wrists. Give your wrists breaks anytime you need to if they get irritated or just need to come off. In some of these positions that we're supporting the weight of the upper body. Just know you don't have to stay up there and hold if it's really not feeling good to you, okay? All right, we're coming towards higher up the back of the leg towards the hamstrings. Foam is up closer towards the hips, extending one leg and relaxing down over that foam. Adjust that blanket behind you so you're nice and comfortable. Shoulders down, neck easy. And it's the same direction roll here for the hamstrings. Up and down the length. Relaxing the legs as you go. We're in that neutral position to start with at the hips. Toes are facing up towards the ceiling. And take your time here. Explore what's happening down the length of that muscle, and there's no hurry. Breathe and relax as you go. That's the best advice I can give you for foam rolling. The more you can relax into that pressure, just like a deep pressure massage, the more benefit you'll get from it. Good. Let's rotate out at the hips, external rotation, getting the outer part of those hamstring muscles. Imagine the weight of your legs dropping down into that foam. And then one more position, rolling in at the hips, big toes towards each other, getting the inside portion of those hamstrings. Good. Coming back, releasing the hips down onto the floor. Relax the wrists for a moment, little circles. Nice. All right, we're going to be sitting on top of the foam now. So coming up towards the glutes. Still have that blanket behind us. You can go fists if that's more comfortable. We're a little bit higher up here, or down onto the wrists again, whatever feels better. So with your hips resting on top of the foam, let's take a moment just to rock the knees a little bit side to side. Relax the back of those hips. Relax the glutes. And sometimes this is enough. We're going to go a little bit deeper and target the piriformis muscle and the deeper glutes. You can join in there, but know that you can always just come back to a rock side to side and get plenty of pressure here. All right, coming into neutral, let's cross one heel over the opposite knee. That crossed knee is the direction that we're going to rotate and twist onto. So we're sitting on that side glute or butt cheek, whichever you prefer to call it. And we're going to start rolling right in there. You can play with how far you're rotated and really figure out the point that you want to target as you roll. You'll find it. It won't take you long. Everyone is, I don't know if I've ever encountered anyone who has no problem and has no tension in this spot. Maybe there's someone out there, let me know if you're like totally relaxed in this spot. There's always work to be done here. So relax as you go. Let your hips drop down into that pressure. If you find a spot you just want to kind of settle down into and relax and breathe, you don't have to keep moving across the foam. Sometimes just relaxing and staying still for a moment and then going back into a roll can really help you. Find your own little techniques that address where you are each day. All right, so let's unroll from that first side, uncross that leg, recenter your hips on the foam, and we'll cross the other heel over. We're rolling towards that crossed knee, and same thing on this side. It's a good moment to watch the fish tank and let them help me relax. Yeah? Wherever your space is at home, wherever your home yoga or relaxation, meditation, foam rolling spot is, place some visuals around that help you to settle in and enjoy the spot, right? Candles, plants. You can really create a bit of a haven somewhere in your house that will help you. Couple more rolls on this side. And then gently coming out of that side, uncross that foot, recentering the hips. And one more time, let's go back to gently rocking the knees a little bit side to side. Notice any changes. See if you can relax into this little twist a little more the second time around. All right, let's come to the IT band. So we're gonna twist over towards one side. I'll face you first. We're rolling onto the side of the lower thigh that we were just rolling the glute from. We've got the cushion up above, lowering down onto the forearm, or you can stay up high, pressing through that hand. Let me adjust so you can see a little better. All right. So that lower leg is going to extend long. The top leg has crossed over and top, that foot supporting you and balancing you in the front. Your target here is to roll the side of the thigh. Don't go too high up towards the hip and don't go too low down towards the knee. So you can play with how far you're rolled onto the side of that thigh. Find a place that you can tolerate. Put some more pressure through your hands if you need to help yourself out. And this is a long roll at the IT band. You don't have to cover the whole thing, maybe just the upper half or the lower half, depending on how you feel. Take some deep breaths as you go. This can be a really tender spot. Just 2 more rolls here. You don't want to stay too long any one place because you can overdo it, right? Overdoing anything is not where we want to go. Okay, so finishing the first side, lowering the hips down. I'm going to spin around towards the second side, bringing the foam up underneath that lower hip. Top foot crossed over front, lower leg extends long, supported underneath the supporting hand. Let me roll so you can see, there we go. All right, so nice long leg underneath. Take your time and explore this side. Remember, you can always go down onto the forearm. Give yourself a little more weight bearing through the upper body. And take it slowly. Don't be surprised if one side feels really different than the other side. Yeah. 2 more rolls here. Nice. And then lowering those hips down. Relax. All right, we're going towards the quads, the front of the thighs. So we're going to turn towards hands and knees, foam underneath, and you've got that cushion in front of you. We're going to make our way down onto the forearms here, extending the legs and placing the thighs right on top of that foam. And here's where we have a nice slow roll. Those quads again are long muscles, just like the hamstrings opposite them. So take your time. You can rest your toes on the floor and back. Let me slide this way so you can see better. There you go. All right. So relaxing as you go. This is a tricky place for a lot of people. Quads can be really tight and sensitive, so take your time. This may be one where you just want to hang out in one spot and breathe and work on relaxing the muscle down into that pressure as you go. And then starting a slow roll, maybe partial up and down the muscle. It's usually one I kind of work my way into gradually. Our legs are starting out in this neutral position first. And then we're going to rotate open at the hips, external rotation at the hips, so we get the inside portion of those quads. Relax as you go. And then gently rolling the thighs in, internally at the hips, big toes towards each other, and getting some of the outer part of the quads. Two more. And then rolling your way back, relaxing the knees down, pressing your way off. And we're going to turn around away from that foam and target the middle back. Shoulder blade area, so relaxing back onto that foam. Knees are in a bent position. Hands coming behind the back of the head for support. Relaxing and floating the head back at the same time. The hips float up off the floor. Nice open elbows here. Relax that whole area around the shoulder blades. And if you have long hair, it might get rolled. Tuck your hair under your hands. Be safe. Nice deep breaths. Imagine those muscles around the shoulder blades, especially between the shoulder blades coming up, just melting into that pressure. If you need to slow everything down, totally fine. Good. All right, coming into neutral lifts. Ease the elbows towards each other, spreading out the shoulder blades in back. And then return to that slow roll. So now we've opened up and exposed more of the rhomboids here for rolling. Nice deep breaths. Two more. And gently place your hips down. Relax your elbows open wide. Let's just have a little stretch here, sending the head back, opening the front of the chest, only as far as you're comfortable with. And then easing the head up. We're going to pull the shoulders a little bit forward, release that foam back behind the head. So using this foam as a little pillow, we're going to target the small muscles that attach to the back, to the base of your skull. Relaxing the head first. Just feel the weight of your head dropping back, shoulders easy. And then whenever you feel like you're ready, start a slow turn of that head a little bit over to one side and a little bit over to the other side. Keep relaxing the weight back into the foam. Notice how this feels in each direction that you go. So all of what we've done is valuable information about how your body's doing, where are the places that need extra care, and then start to investigate a little bit. Why is one side tighter? Maybe some of your patterns during the day, maybe some of the way that you position yourself or sit or stand is causing a little bit of an imbalance. And then use those clues to explore how you go through your day. And hopefully just becoming more aware of what's happening with your body is huge for helping yourself out. Couple more little rotations here at the head. And then making your way towards center. Notice how that whole area feels. And then let's just adjust where that foam is located. We're going to slide it underneath where the knees are. Maybe cover it with that blanket that we've been using. So there's a little softness, little cushion, and then relax your legs over that foam. So we've just created a little yoga bolster for ourselves here. Relax your head down on the floor. Find a comfortable position for your arms. And that's it. So now this is part of it. When you have finished rolling, to digest and to listen to all the sensations going on right now, to get everything really relaxed. Let the blood just flow everywhere because you've created a nice open channel for your circulation to get to all the places it needs to get. So just enjoy that process. Couple more nice deep breaths here. And you're welcome to stay put right where you are. You don't have to come out of it. I'm just going to say thanks for joining. I hope that made you feel better. And remember to hydrate yourself really well. So drink lots of water and kind of keep that nice relaxation and have a great, great sleep. Thanks, guys. See you next time. Bye.